welcome back to the channel. First off, let me just say to you all, Happy New Year. Let's hope this year's going to be a little bit better than it was last year. I've been trying to sell my house, as some of you may or may not know, for the last 12 months. I have had 2 buyers that have pulled out at the last minute, one literally days before I was about to move to Wales. Anyway, we're back to square one. So let's hope this year, please, find me a buyer that's not going to pull out. Anyway, some of you may or may not have noticed I've changed the channel name. This all come about over the Christmas period, as we all do. I sat vegging, watching loads and loads of YouTube videos, come across one that was quite funny, and they were talking about the VW Wave. Vincent's an old 25-year-old T4, and they were sort of saying that the old VWs do this to each other, and they had the audacity to say that T4s were almost in purgatory, and where do they sit within the chain of VWs? Well, we all know where the T4s sit. They sit right at the top. Anyway, that's waffle. So the VW Wave, we actually get a lot of waves along the way from all sorts of VWs, you know, so I kept thinking, well, we make a lot of waves along the way on our journey, there, back, wherever. And waves, the sea, I do a bit of fishing, as you all know. My favourite place to stop is always by the coast. So I sort of thought, well, making waves, I mean, it's quite apt. So at the moment, the new channel name is Making Waves. Anyway, enough of that waffle. Today I'm not going anywhere, unfortunately. I've got a little bit of a maintenance plan for Vincent over the next few weeks. Selling the house and what have you. It's just almost impossible to get away at the moment. It's driving me nuts. I can't wait to go out. You might be able to hear the noise in the background. One of the reasons I can't wait to go out is I bit the bullet after 7 years of being quite cold in the van, especially in the winter, after coming back off the beach fishing. But I really couldn't afford one of the top-notch German heaters, so I've always made do with making a brew, and the heat from the stove heats the van up, or I had a little gas canister heater which I knew really wasn't very safe, and made sure I never left it on overnight. But the Chinese diesel heaters seem to have come on, and I saw more good reports than bad reviews then. And I bit the bullet and I bought one. Oh my god, what a game changer. It's absolutely fantastic. The guy that fitted it was brilliant. Hopefully when I go and have a bit of maintenance done, I'll be able to walk you through where he's fitted it under the van. I had it fitted straight into the diesel tank because I didn't want to be mucking about with diesel in a separate tank and having the stink in the van. Little controllers up there. I've got my keys, which I've got a remote on them, and in the house I can turn the heater on 15-20 minutes before I get in the van, and it is toasty. I can't wait to get out and try it. But today we can't go anywhere. Today we have an ongoing, probably for a couple of years at least, leak in Vincent's sunroof. Now, I thought back in the summer, I took the glass out of the sunroof and I cleaned all the seals out, I greased them all up, I tightened up the little clamps that bring the hinge clamp things that bring the sunroof down, thinking I'd sealed it properly. And for quite a few weeks I was actually quite chuffed and quite proud of myself because I cured the leak, I thought, until we had this horrible -10 weather that we had just before Christmas. And I came out one morning for something, and there was just a pool of wet on the passenger seat. Every time I drove anywhere, if you brake and force the van down then, or you're going downhill, the water just drip out of the sunroof from the inside. So I don't know whether you can see this, guys, but I'm forced to travel with a towel that side to soak it up before it drips through. And I've also got a towel that I sit on my lap to pick up the excess moisture that drops. Enough's enough. I've had enough of it. Outside there's no obvious leak, rust or anything around the seal of the sunroof. It can't be coming in the windscreen. I had that replaced going back last year, or the year before actually, because it's this year now. Yeah, anyway, and the guy that replaced it, when the sunroof was leaking, said there was nothing wrong with the seal when he replaced the windscreen, so I know it's not that. There aren't many more things it can be, so I've decided to take out the roof lining and the frame on the inside of the van to see if I can see any sign of any water ingress somewhere. So that's my job today. Let's get on with it. Let's see if we can cure this horrible leak, please. Okay, I'm off to get my tools. Okay. It looks like this plastic shroud thing that goes over the handle is the first thing to take off, and as per, it looks to me like somebody's done it before, which is a bit worrying. Oh, there's one screw, because one is a crosshead screw and the other is one of these funny little star jobbers. So we'll get that off and see. Make sure I put these screws down somewhere safe, otherwise I should lose them all. What's going on with the rest of this? And it looks to me like it's held on. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, that's extremely wet. So, looks to me like it's held on. There's an inner frame. I don't... Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, guys. It was those plastic clips that were holding it in, and they've just splattered all over the van, so hopefully I'll be able to find them. That's another piece off. Oh, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare to find, but never mind. Right, so what have we got now then? So I'm actually quite hopeful that I have sorted the problem. It looks to me like, pushing this up, that's the frame against the metal roof. It doesn't look like there's any holes or any rust or anything that's letting the water through. I think that the sunroof has literally, the seal has given up, which has allowed it to drop down, probably in that vile weather, at -10 degrees, and it's actually caused the leak. Now, it's 2 o'clock, it's going to get dark by about 4, and I don't want to work in the semi-light on something like this. It's got to be stripped off and done properly. So I think what I'll do is clear up all my tools, get it all stripped off. It's going to take me 15-20 minutes to take the glass out by the time I've sorted all my screws out and actually found all the little clips before tomorrow that shot out of the plastic shroud when I took it off. Clear it all up, get it ready, probably have to tarp over the van tonight just so that we don't get more floods, and pick it back up tomorrow when I've got time to Sikaflex it, find the Sikaflex, and a little bit of drying time. So hopefully, I'm really hoping I've actually found the problem. Not as bad as it could be. It could be a massive great rusty hole in my 25-year-old van that needed plating up, but it's not. The roof looks good, so I guess it's the seal. So I'll catch you guys again in the morning. Okay, there's always a problem. Looking at this, I'm not sure whether the camera's going to focus on that, but I'll show you from the top that I don't see how this frame is ever going to come out. there's no joining it. I can push it back, but I can't push it back far enough to get it out. So I might have to, as you can see it's raining, I might actually, oh no, I tell a lie, I've got the damn thing out. Yay! So clean up these edges, tarp it back over as the sticker flex hasn't arrived. Right, this is the problem, guys. The old sealant is in a bit of a mess, so I think it's a clean-up job, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare, and wait for me Sikaflex, tarp the big gaping hole up, and hope I can get it back in tidy. Right, I'm going to get some sandpaper and clear the edges off, maybe hammerite them. Next job. Right guys, rain has well and truly stopped play. I've actually managed to sand the edges of the gaping hole, but I think it's time to tarp up and take this frame in, clear it all up, get all this awful sealant off it, wait for the Sikaflex to come, and hopefully get it on tomorrow, but it's not happening today. Best laid plans and all that. So now, cover up the gaping hole with my tarp so I don't have a completely wet van, and rush inside, I think. So I'll catch you inside, guys. Well, as you can see, it's sort of waterproof, so let's get back and get this lot sorted. Well, I sort of guessed this wouldn't be easy. Horrible, nasty. Well, it's not nasty, it's actually brilliant stuff, but it's nasty to get off. Sealant has all got to come off before I even attempt to put it all back in. I want to make sure I do a decent job of it, because it was a bit of a performance getting it out, and it would be nice not to have to do it all over again and go through all that rigmarole. We want to get Vincent on the road, not off the road. And as my mother used to say, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. How right you were, Mum. If it all came off like that, it would be brilliant. Ah well, get on with it and on to the next stage. I think I might have to Google, unless any of you guys know, probably be too late for this video, but how you get the last of the sticky, did I say stinky? Sticky Sikaflex, how you remove it completely. I'm wondering whether maybe petrol or possibly white spirit or something like that, but you guys might have a much better idea, or easier idea I should say, and if you do, put it in the comments below, because this type of thing, I mean, I might not need it again, well hopefully I won't need it again, but there's always people watching, and if you sort of put little tips below in your comments, always helps other people, and that's what it's all about. So I'm going to crack on with this, and I'll catch you when I've tidied it up a little bit. Right, I think I was having a little bit of a blonde moment there, because it suddenly struck me I was gouging this alley frame with a Stanley blade because I couldn't hold it flat, and there's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned chisel, and that's actually getting it off really, really nicely. So tips in below anyway, but don't use a Stanley knife to strip it off. Use a chisel. You can get a good flat flat. It works better. Right. I've got most of it out, and I've just realised a massive schoolgirl error. When you start a job, make sure you have all the tools, because the smooth right that I'm going to use on the outside of the frame to tidy it back up is about half a mile away at my unit, and I've got to go and get it to finish this. But I have a big hole in my roof, so I've got to now go remove the tarp and hope that it doesn't start peeing down with rain and I can get all the way up there and back without getting soaked. No other way around it, so wish me luck. I'm off to get the smooth right. Hello, dogs. Yes, and by magic I didn't get wet, and I've got the smooth right. So, onto the frame. After my little trip out, I managed to get the smooth right, and this is going on the top of the frame that sits on top of the roof, really just to protect it a little bit. I mean, it is aluminium, so whether it needs it or not, I don't know, but I'm just putting it back to what it was before. I've looked at all the rubber seal and it seems to be in really good condition. It might be because I've always greased it up quite well to stop it sort of decaying and cracking as rubber does. So I really don't want to replace that. As soon as this smooth right's dried, I will get some grease and I will grease the seal again. Then all that is left is hopefully my Sikaflex adhesive will arrive, probably after dark, because it's getting dark already, and we'll have a go at putting it in. So onwards and upwards. Right, it's a bit windy and I've got a short window this morning to get this frame back in and sealed before we have rain for God knows how many days. So I'm just getting off the last of what I missed in the rain yesterday. I've dry fitted the sunroof's frame, so as soon as I've got the worst of this off, I can get the sealant on here. It arrived late yesterday after dark, as we thought it might, and get on and get this back in before it rains. So right, that's most of that cleared off. The plan is not to catch your finger on the sharp metal, so I had to go for a plaster. So I'm going to get a bead now around this and get this sunroof in before it rains. I actually warmed the tube up, hearing that it does help. This is where you need strong hands. Okay guys, as you can see, rain stopped play, but I did manage to get the sunroof back in before it set in. Clamped it down, got all the screws back in, got a right mess in the van. Rain well and truly stopped play. I will say I've probably got quite a mess to clean up on Vincent's roof, on the actual roof itself, as Sikaflex is horrible to work with when you haven't got strong hands to use the gun. But I managed it, and I'm kind of hoping that sorted it. As I was doing it, I did wonder whether to put a bead of Sikaflex around the outside of the frame, a little bit like sealing a bath, I suppose. But I'm going to have to get back up there. I got in a right mess. a good old cut on my finger from touching the rubbing the metal on the edge of the sunroof where I sanded it off. I'm really hoping that this sorts it out. I'm not going to put the trim here back on just yet. I've got a couple of clips I've got to replace, and it seems pointless putting it back on until I've tested it. I was going to be really brave and put a hose pipe up there, but it's raining outside and I'm just going to leave it for now and hope and pray. So let's put these tools away and sum up. So, sunroof back in, sealed. I haven't put the trim on yet. I am looking for a few of these little clips. I'll put a picture actually up here if anybody knows where I can get them. I broke a few getting the trim out, so I've got to replace those. But yeah, a job done, and fingers crossed I've sorted my ongoing leak. How easy was the job? Wasn't too bad getting the sunroof out. It was okay cleaning it up, apart from butchering my finger. Putting it back in was okay. It wasn't difficult. I think the most difficult bit is coping with Sikaflex and the gun, because I haven't got particularly strong wrists and you've got to get an even bead around it. It was a bit mucky, there's a mess up there, but I did discover lighter fluid gets off any surfaces. I got it on the seats, I got it on the roof, I got it everywhere. I got it on my hands, nightmare. But anyway, I think what I might do once I've cleaned it up, when I get a dry day, is maybe put a seal all the way around the outside of the frame and mask it up. If you're going to do this job, guys, mask up. I didn't, because I thought I could be careful, and I was wrong. Another little job before you go that I haven't shown you before, that I did a month or so back before Christmas, was I bought a swivel seat base for my double seats. I was going to replace the seat with a captain's seat, but decided that it's a shame to get rid of the double seat. I did want more room in the cab, and they're brilliant. I'll put a link below to the guy that supplies them, but it's just a frame. You literally take the seat out, put the frame in, the swivel frame, and you've got 4 bolts, nuts, wing nut things, these things, 4 of those that you just undo, turn it round, pull them back in, but I don't generally bother because they're a bit of a faff, and then swing the seat back round when you want to go on the road again. Absolutely fantastic, and has really given me a lot more room in the van. It means if I've got somebody in here, we haven't both got to sit on this seat. You can sit either side, and I've got the table up so you can eat comfortably. Absolutely brilliant. I will put a link in. The guy was great, brilliant service, and not too bad a price. So yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I've got a carbon monoxide monitor to fix the van. Now I've got the diesel heater. Simple job after doing that one with the sunroof, but next video, hopefully I'll be able to get up there with a short and just show you what it looks like above and report to you that I have no leaks. Until then, guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button, ding the bell, because if you ding the bell, then the next videos you'll get an alert to them, and if you like the videos, then subscribe. But making waves, I've got to learn how to do this without looking at my hands. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.